I got something that I need to say about the 2022 NFL Draft. This is the most exciting night in football, NFL football, other than the Super Bowl. The most exciting night, hands down. And tonight did not disappoint. We witnessed one of the craziest, weirdest, life-changing events all year long in football. And what I can't even put into words right now. It's crazy to see. There was like so much trading back. It was players traded. I just talked about this a second ago. We got AJ Brown. Bill Belichick traded back. The Chiefs traded up. The Green Bay traded up. The Jets traded up to get 3 first-round picks. It was all over the place. But that's exactly how the draft needs to be, especially for our entertainment. So let's start with some good to great draft picks. So honestly, I take that back. I don't think there was a bad draft pick all night long. Now I did have one questionable pick. I don't think there was one bad pick all night, but I do have one questionable pick. Now, this might come off biased since I'm an Eagles fan and we missed out on him, but I don't understand why Detroit drafted Jameson Williams. They're not in need of wide receivers. They just need to develop the wide receivers they have around. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, Quintez Cephas. So I don't know. Maybe they were just looking for that number one guy, and I get it. But I was just like, I didn't think that was who they should have went with. But they got Aiden Hutchinson. They got Jameson Williams, the best wide receiver to draft, in my opinion. So they got everything that it seems like they wanted out of this. So we'll see how their season turns out. Motor City, Dan Campbell, that's my guy. Hopefully they find some success and really, really find their way. They are, last season they were the youngest team in the league, or one of the youngest teams in the league. So I would love to see them find success and be great. So there was that. But other than that, I think there were some really good picks. Can you stop scratching the floor? Thank you. The Green Bay didn't draft another offensive player. So in the Aaron Rodgers tenure, he hasn't had one offensive player other than Jordan Love drafted to help him. So I thought that was funny. George Pickens was right there. He was literally right there. I believe Tampa Bay traded out of the first round, and they have the first pick of the next round. Yeah, I think that's where the Jets went. I'm pretty sure, because now Tampa Bay has the 33rd pick. So the Jets, they did their thing tonight. They had 3 first-round picks. They had Sauce. Jermaine Johnson slipping to 22 was crazy to me. I didn't think he was going to drop that low at all. That was kind of crazy to me. But they got him, and they got Garrett Wilson, who some believe is the best wide receiver in the draft, and he's probably number 2 to me in the draft. He's very athletic and go up and get the ball. He's got game. So they had a really, really great first round. If I was to rank them, I would probably say the Jets had the best first round of anybody. So there was that. The Giants made some noise, and I hate the Giants because I'm an Eagles fan, but they had 2 great picks in 15 minutes. Kayvon Thibodeau, and who was the other pick? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I cannot remember who the other pick was. Let me see. Come on. Derek Stingley Jr. Oh, nope, that wasn't him. That's and Evan Neal, that's who it was. Evan Neal. I thought Evan Neal was gonna go number 1, and he didn't, so that threw me off. The Jaguars went and got Travon Walker, but the Giants made some noise with their 2 picks, so we'll see how the rest of their draft plays out. They got a stud on an offensive line and a defensive line, so they're gonna make some noise. Derek Stingley going 4 was weird, but once I thought about who Lovie Smith is and how he's a defensive guy, it makes sense. I think people had to take a step back and realize who the coach is now. So because it's not Bill O'Brien, it's not David Culley, it's Lovie Smith, and Lovie Smith is a defensive minded coach. So getting a defensive guy shouldn't have been a surprise to much anybody, but it was a surprise, especially seeing him go at 3. If they weren't at 3, more like 8 or 9, and he got him, it would have made it. Would people wouldn't have reacted like how they did, especially the ESPN broadcast. Let me see. Let me look at the rest of this list. The Saints not drafting a quarterback surprised me. I really thought that they were going to get Malik Willis, but they extended Jameis Winston. So I was like, you traded up for what? Chris Olave is probably going to be there at your original pick. So y'all traded up. It's kind of extra. Drake London, that was a surprise to everybody. That he's one of those guys you just have to see play. I don't know how he's going to fare in the NFL. I just firmly believe we just gotta wait and see on him. But a lot of these other guys, you know that they're either gonna be really, really good or bust. And with Drake London, you in the gray area. And I'm not disrespecting him by no means, but we don't know how he's gonna translate into the NFL with his size and his frame. And this is where J.J. Arcega-Whiteside caught a stray because somebody thought that Drake London might turn out like that. I don't think he will turn out like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, but it does raise some questions, especially how high he got drafted. And the Falcons definitely needed a receiver. They need help everywhere, so I thought they might go quarterback because Matt Ryan is no longer there. But I believe they have faith in Mariota or Felipe Franks. I pray for him. Yeah, that's that. Being from Charlotte, I got to talk about the Panthers. Ike Mekwonu, that's a good pick. He's from North Carolina. He went to school at North Carolina State. It's right here. It was perfect. Second best O-lineman in the draft to me. Who else? My friend Kenson. They got Kyle Williams. Not Kyle Hamilton. I'm sorry, Kyle Hamilton. That was the perfect fit at the time. That was the best player to draft for them. Now with the Ravens, they just got to get healthy, and then we'll see how they'll fare. They just got to get healthy. That's really all it is. That's the only reason why they didn't have success last year. So you plug and play with him. He played every position, just about every position on the field other than on the D-line, and they showed a stat. He played even wide corner. So there's that. But he can run from sideline to sideline all day and make plays. So that was a good pick for them. Now me and my friends I talked about this. Me and my boy Terrence, we love offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, and 2 players that I loved watch getting drafted. Are you good? Thank you. 2 players that I loved watch getting drafted were Trevor Penning and Taylor Linderbaum. I like both of those guys. Both of them guys is nasty, and they went to school in Iowa, so that should tell you everything you need to know. The boys is big and destructive. And I think Trevor Penning, I didn't know he had a lot of holding calls. You can work on that. If there was an O-lineman that I could put on the equals, it would be one of them 2. So these dudes are nasty, and I like it. So there's that. Anything else? Kenny Pickett. So here's I firmly believe this, and it happened twice tonight. Players are not leaving where they're from, as far as like their hometown. Kenny Pickett and Aiden Hutchinson are 2 examples of that. So for whatever reason, I saw up until the draft, I saw way too many people saying Aiden Hutchinson was going number 1. I was like, Aiden Hutchinson is not going number 1, and he's not going past Detroit. He is from Michigan. Like his dad played at Michigan as well. So he wasn't leaving the state of Michigan to go play football anywhere else. Kenny Pickett was the same way. I thought that they might get Malik Willis. There was talks about them moving up. Mike Tomlin being enamored. They having sit-downs with Malik Willis, and nothing came of it. Kenny Pickett was the only person drafted, the only quarterback drafted. Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback drafted in the first round this year. And I think this was the first time since 2013 there was not a quarterback drafted in the first 10 picks. Not drafted in the first 10 picks since 2013. This is the first time in 9 years. So that But that didn't really come as a surprise because a lot of the teams at the top of the draft kind of have an idea of who they want as quarterback, and this draft class, as far as quarterbacks, had the most skepticism. Nobody really knew what to expect. Nobody knows what to expect, and we won't know until the season starts. That's my motto. You've heard me say it a couple times here. You won't really know until the season starts. So that's that. No other real surprise. Oh, George Karlaftis went at the end of the first round. He's going to Kansas City. I like Purdue football. I'm a recent supporter, so George Karlaftis got drafted to there. Trent McDuffie's going to Kansas City. And that's really all. It was a lot of trade backs. Teams, you could tell teams were nervous and freaking out. Because what they got back in return for trade backs wasn't a lot. So this is one of the most interesting draft classes and drafts of all time. Partially because this has the most skepticism. People are fearful of potential busts, and that should already be your mindset. But this is a lot more than I would have thought. But they got to get drafted at some point. They got to fit on teams, and we got to see them play. So all that skepticism gonna have to get pushed to the side at some point, and boys are gonna have to start balling. That's all we can. That's all we, as fans, that's all we can hope for. Good football. But with that being said, draft night 1 was amazing, and I love that this is the second most exciting night in NFL football. Period. Point blank. Period. But that's all I got to say about that. Be on the lookout for the Eagles video. I'll probably do just the Eagles wrap up at the end on like Monday or Sunday, Monday or Sunday, one of those 2 days, maybe not. But I enjoy the draft. I hope you enjoy the draft. Look out. Saturday is a great day to watch. You might not care for the 4th through 7th rounds, but those are the sleepers. So watch out for those guys. But I will see you in the next one. You have a good one.